crop share. Hi America, we have less and less money. And more people need stuff. Some numbers are going down and others are going up. And we're spending a lot of money in places that don't matter. Like lawns. Hey, what's up? My name's Russell. I teach high school. And even though I really love my job, I'm really worried about something right now. And it's that most of the kids in my class, more than 50%, are on free or reduced lunch. And an even bigger problem is that the number's probably greater, but there's a lot of kids who are struggling and they don't want to admit that their parents are poor. And so I'm looking around at all these empty desks, thinking about all the empty bellies in the community, and wondering what we can do about it. I'm here at a place called Sharing Ministries. My wife and I have been donating food and money here for a long time, but in the last couple of years the number's gone from 2,000 people in the valley that they're feeding to 4,000 people. But here's the thing. We live in an agricultural community. People know how to farm here. There's farmland, there's water. What's up with that? Now don't get me wrong, I love lawns. I love all this cool, soft grass. But I really have to ask myself a question. If we're paying $150, and some people right next door are paying $400 a month on just the privilege of having something green and cool under their feet whenever they go outside and get away from the television, is that really a good source of that money? Is that really a good place for that money to be going? Could it be going to other things like starving children here in the United States of America? I think so. So there's a lot of projects that I want to do outside in the garden, but I can't because I have a job and I need to show up to my job to get paid to pay for the house. So I needed somebody who could garden for me. That's when I call Evan. Barr! Evan, tell me about growing food.
Anyone can do it. You don't need a brain. It's a great substitute for a real job.
But by having an intern, I can come home from work and my intern's working on the things that I wish that I could have, and things are still getting done for the community. Hey chickens! What's up, Evan?
What's up?
Get to work, man! Yes, that is the kind of reaction that one can expect. So yeah, it seems to me that somebody like Evan can move in with us and basically become a better farmer because you've got some experience, and help us turn our lawn into something useful, and then we can become better farmers in the process. And you get free rent out of it.
And you get free labor.
Heck yes. What up? So check it out. If you're considering getting an intern, here's some things that you probably want to do, and this has made the situation a lot better with my household relationship with my wife and my intern, and it'll probably help you out wherever you are and what you're going to be doing. First, I found my intern at the same farm that had my CSA. The farm where I had my CSA actually required that I be a volunteer worker, and I actually was volunteering there before I even thought about having an intern, so I got to work with a lot of the workers out on the farm, and so because of that, I knew who I got along with. You can think of this as a screening process. I also knew who I thought had a really good work ethic. I worked with those people, I worked alongside them, and I thought, you know what, I could live with that person. The next thing is that once I decided that this is what I wanted to do, lots of communication was really important. And specifically, I made a list of expectations, and I had the intern, my roommate, do the same thing. So we both did a list of expectations, and then we talked about it, and we figured out a policy of how we were going to do things.
a couple of things that you really want to ask your intern is, first of all, things like, do they have health insurance? You know, what happens if they're digging in the garden and they break their leg? Fortunately for my intern, he has his own health insurance. It's separate. I have nothing to do with it. And since there's no money involved, it makes it a lot easier, and I am less liable. So communication is the other thing. And then the third thing is, again, communication. One of the things that has really helped us out is setting aside a time every week for, say, 30 minutes, where we just sit down, talk about how many hours he's worked, talk about the projects coming up, and constantly be in contact with that person about, hey, if you're going to be living in my house and I'm giving you free rent, these are my very specific expectations. And as long as you keep that connection going from the beginning, things are going to go pretty well for you. There's a lot of other things that I could tell you that are just common sense, but this is a good place to start. If you don't have access to a farmer CSA, or if you don't know somebody who you're already interested in hiring as your intern, a good place to start is woofers willing to work on organic farms. You can just Google it. And I would really suggest making a YouTube video, or suggesting that applicants also make YouTube videos where you say, hey, if you aren't in the community, I want to know who you are, and I definitely want to talk to you before you're going to come into my house for an extended period of time. But yeah, it's working awesome. Pretty sweet. Man.